What is up, YouTube's and Rahman? And my last video was my opinion on intermittent fasting. Okay, and in today's video, I'll be talking about another popular diet style, which is the ketogenic diet or keto. And before I begin, I'm not a nutritionist or dietitian. I'm only sharing my opinion with you. Okay, so what I talk about is just what I think. Okay, now keto or the ketogenic diet is a diet where you are primarily only having proteins and fats, okay, and a trace amount of carbohydrates, but you can have carbohydrates as much as 10% of your calorie intake. So suppose you're supposed to have 2000 calories in your day, then you would only want to get 200 of those calories from carbohydrates so that you can maintain ketosis. Okay, so 200 calories from carbohydrates, that would be 50 grams of carbs. Okay, so that's what your carb intake needs to be. So you really need to limit your carbohydrate intake on the keto diet. And what this does is this makes your fats the primary source of energy for your body. Okay, so if you're in a calorie deficit this way, then your body is already using fats for its primary source of energy. So it can be an effective diet for fat loss. Okay, so like I said, it can be effective for fat loss, but it is not necessary for you to do keto to lose weight or to lose body fat. Okay, once again, it comes down to calories in, calories out. So you wouldn't just be losing weight by virtue of doing a keto diet or by being in ketosis. Okay, if you're consuming your calories in a surplus, if you're eating over your maintenance calories, then again you would be gaining weight, gaining fat, and not losing it. Okay, so once again, you don't just lose weight by being in keto. Apart from being in keto, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Okay, so that is how you lose weight with any of the diets. Okay, and that is why it is not necessary for you to do a particular diet to lose weight. I mean, whatever way you diet, it just needs to be sustainable for you, and you have to eat in a calorie deficit. Okay, there's no weight loss or fat loss without eating in a calorie deficit. So you always need to be mindful of the amount of calories that you're consuming if your goal is to lose weight or even if it is to gain weight. Okay, now what I think about keto, whether it would be sustainable for most people, I don't think it would be, because human beings are glycolytic beings. Okay, we have an affinity for carbohydrates. That's why we like to consume carbohydrates, carbs. Okay, so I don't think keto would be sustainable for everyone. Okay, because people who do keto the way it's supposed to be done, or other diets that exclude food groups like maybe the vegan diet, they are perfectionists. Okay, so not all of us are perfectionists. I'm not a perfectionist. Okay, so I don't think keto would be sustainable for anyone who's not as focused, as determined to do the diet as a person needs to be in order to be successful doing this diet. Yeah, of course, you can do it for a short term and meet your short-term fitness goals. But what I believe is, whatever diet you do, it should be for life, so that you can sustain that way of eating for as long as you live, and it should work for you. It should make you feel good, and also you must be getting in all the nutrition that you need from this diet. Okay, which is one thing that I don't like about the keto diet. Okay, apart from the fact that you are cutting out a food group, which is something that I don't really believe in. It limits the amount of essential foods that you can have, like the carbohydrates. So I've done a video earlier talking about carbohydrates and why they're essential. I'll add it to the end screen to this video so you can check that out, so you have an idea about why carbohydrates are essential for the functioning of your body. And apart from that, I also feel like you would be limiting your fiber intake quite a bit. Okay, because you can't really incorporate a lot of fruits and vegetables into your diet, or food groups which would have a high amount of fiber, like maybe beans or chickpeas or such vegetarian protein sources which would have fiber, because they would have a lot of carbs in them as well. So I don't think you're getting in enough carbohydrates, of course, being on a keto diet, and 50 grams of carbohydrates or less than that. That's less than two bananas. Okay, so that's really what your fruit and vegetable intake would be in a day, and I don't really think that is optimum. And you would be primarily relying on animal food sources like whole eggs, like fatty cuts of meat, fatty fish, and you can get in a good amount of micronutrients if you're having enough whole eggs, red meat, and fish like salmon in your diet. But again, you're not getting in the kind of spectrum of micronutrients I think you should be, because you're not consuming enough carbohydrates or your fruits and vegetables. Okay, so that's something that I don't really think is great about the keto diet. And again, a lot of people would be consuming a lot of processed foods like your sausages, bacons, hams, all this stuff, because they might feel like it is those are good food sources to incorporate into their keto diet. But these food groups have trace amount of carbohydrates, and if you want to do a diet the right way, they would all add up in the end, and you might be going over your carbohydrate intake, and you won't really be in ketosis. That is a possibility, of course, and you might just be losing weight because of being in a calorie deficit. So, and the weight that you lose on ketosis, okay, not all of it is fat, because, like I've talked about before in a video I did about whether weight loss is fat loss, when you're not consuming carbohydrates, 1 gram of carb, it holds up 3 grams of water in your body. So you would be losing a lot of water weight. And then when you're on very low carbs, your body would be depleting your glycogen stores. So you'll be losing a lot of weight from the glycogen and stomach content, all that stuff. So not all of the weight you lose on keto would be fat loss. Okay, a lot of it would be water, glycogen, and all this stuff. And this is why dietitians really like to sell the keto diet, because dietitians essentially are selling you weight loss and not health. Okay, that is where they make their money. That is why you would want to go back to them, because they get you to believe that they got you to lose weight. And not all of this weight is fat loss. Of course, if you want, you can check out the video that I did about whether weight loss is fat loss, so you have a good idea about that. But yeah, that's what dietitians are basically doing. They're sending you weight loss and not really health. And I think the way to be on a fitness journey is not only to meet your fitness goals or the goals that you have pertaining to your body, the aesthetics, but also to do it in the healthiest way possible. And I don't think the ideal way to do that would be to cut out food groups from your diet. And this is why I don't really advocate for any diets that cut out food groups. Okay, I believe you should be getting in the benefits of all food groups. Okay, because like I've talked about in my recent videos, every food group, every macro, every micronutrient has a function in your body. So unless you're not consuming all of these nutrients, you're not allowing your body to function at its most optimal. Okay, and once again, I am not saying that any diet is wrong. Okay, there's no diet that is right or wrong. They all have a purpose, and they serve their purpose if they're done in the right way. And I'm sure keto works for a lot of people. Like I know people who like the keto diet, okay, who function well on it, and who work out hard on it, and who look good. Okay, they don't really look depleted or have low energy levels. And I also know people who've done keto and they felt like crap. They've had really bad energy levels, constipation. Okay, so all that stuff that you don't really need. So once again, all our bodies are unique, and how you feel on a diet, how sustainable it is for you, that is something very particular and subjective. Okay, so the best way to know whether a keto diet works for you would be to try it out and see how you feel on it. If you feel like you have a good energy level, if you feel like you function well, you look good, you perform well in your workouts, and overall you're feeling good, and you think you can sustain it, you like the way that you're eating on the keto diet, and most certainly it will work for you. but I don't think it would work for most people because most people like to have carbohydrates, and again, cutting out a food group, you're not really getting in the benefits that you get from the food group. Carbohydrates, they're responsible for a lot of your hormone regulation and brain function. Okay, so that wouldn't really be working your way, but of course, you might feel fine doing a keto diet without all that hormone regulation, or like if you go on a very low carb diet, you would feel like your brain's foggy, it's not functioning at its optimum. So if you don't feel any of those side effects of a keto diet, and if you feel good on it, like I said, it might work for you. And I know people who it works for, and I also know people who did not really feel very good on it. So again, that's subjective. And why I don't think it is the best diet is because you're cutting out a food group, and again, you're not really getting in the benefits you would get from that food group, or to have a balanced diet. It's not really a balanced diet. Okay, it's more of an extremist diet, and I don't think the average person without the right idea about nutrition would be able to do keto in the most effective way. Okay, so and of course, once again, I'm not saying that it is wrong, or for that matter, any diet is wrong. Once again, if you do a diet the right way and do it for a considerable amount of time, then every diet works. But I'm just sharing my opinion on it. Okay, and yeah, you might want to do keto short term, and like if you want to lose weight really fast, or lose weight in a short amount of time, lose body fat for a purpose, maybe to attend a wedding or for a beach vacation or just to look good, or whatever. But then if you're going off it, then I don't really think it's the best for you. And like I talked about before in this video, if you're doing a particular diet, I think it should be for life, because you should be able to sustain it and actually like it. Okay, so what makes a diet sustainable, the primary reason why a diet would be sustainable for someone is when that person likes it. So whatever diet you do, I would want it to be something that you can sustain lifelong, and that makes you feel good for life. Okay, and that you can actually make a lifestyle. And once again, that's what these diets, these extremist diets like keto and vegan are. They're more of a lifestyle than a diet. So unless you're the kind of person who doesn't really care about what they're having, like some people, they don't care about what they eat. Okay, they don't mind not having carbohydrates or whatever, or you might just like consuming the foods that you have on your keto diet more than you would if you're eating in a more flexible way. So if you are one of those people, keto might work for you. If you feel good on it, it might work for you, and you might be able to sustain it. But I don't think you should be doing any diet which you cannot sustain lifelong. Okay, because I think whatever diet you do, it should make you better, and it should be your lifestyle. Okay, so like I said, keto works, of course, and it is great for fat loss if you're eating in a calorie deficit and doing it the right way, if you're maintaining ketosis in the right way. And it also releases ketones, which are good for your brain function. Okay, so that's something that might make you function well. So the best way to know whether keto works for you would be to try it out. And of course, I've shared my opinion about what I think about keto. And in my opinion, the best diet is one that allows you to have all food groups, everything, every macronutrient, micronutrient, dairy, protein, fats, carbs, because all of them have some function in your body. But again, doing a particular diet might be sustainable for you, and it might work well for you. So do whatever diet which you feel good about, which you like, and which you can sustain. So those were my thoughts and some facts about keto. Let me know what you thought about the video. Leave your comments below. Let me know if there are any other diet styles that you want me to talk about, that you want me to share my opinion about, or just talk about them. So, like the video if you like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.